Liv Morgan has shot on Tiffany Stratton. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what Liv Morgan had to say and why it could lead to something much bigger than you realize. Because Liv Morgan, while yes, has been focused on Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio as of late, she also has a big task ahead of her. This Saturday, she steps inside of the squared circle, takes on Nia Jax for the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Right? It's Women's World Champion Liv Morgan, Women's Champion Nia Jax. This has been two stars that have had breakout years in 2024. We look at Liv Morgan. She has feuded with Becky Lynch twice, and she's feuded with Rhea Ripley. She's reinvented herself. She's become a mainstay on Monday Night Raw as a top heel, aligned with Dominic Mysterio. Has had a few matches with Rhea Ripley, including SummerSlam, where she went over thanks to outside interference from Dominic Mysterio. She lost a mixed tag team match to Rhea and Damian Priest, and then she went and put over Rhea via DQ at Bad Blood, thanks to the returning Raquel Rodriguez, who is now Liv's big heel manager, or, heater, if you will. Nia Jax, on the other hand, she has won Queen of the Ring. She has won the Women's Championship from Bayley, and now they are on a collision course. What does Nia Jax have that Liv Morgan also has? She has an outside threat. Raquel Rodriguez being the heater for Liv, her bodyguard, if you will. You have Tiffany Stratton, who is Miss Money in the Bank, guaranteeing herself a championship opportunity for the next year after winning said match. Now, she has teased cashing in on Nia Jax numerous occasions. She's also helped Nia Jax win some matches, including at Bad Blood when Nia Jax retained the Women's Championship over Bayley. So, when we're talking about Crown Jewel, you cannot rule out Tiffany Stratton. You cannot rule out the possibility of not only Tiffany Stratton getting involved, but you also can't count out the fact that Tiffany Stratton may cash in Money in the Bank. That's significant. That's newsworthy. That's noteworthy, because you have to keep your eye on her. And that leads us to today's video, because Liv Morgan, she sat down with Chris Van Vliet, Insight with Chris Van Vliet, a very good podcast in which she talked about numerous topics, including a potential opponents for WrestleMania 41 if there was anyone that she wanted to face. When Tiffany Stratton was named as a potential opponent for her at the biggest event of the year, well, Morgan admitted that it would be an interesting matchup. That's what she'd say. I have Nia Jax to prep for Crown Jewel. I have Tiffany potentially wanting to cash in on me. Me versus Tiffany could be a very interesting match. That could be interesting, yeah. So let's take a step back there. Do I think Tiffany Stratton versus Liv Morgan is a WrestleMania-worthy main event? A worthy WrestleMania match, not main event. They're not headlining with Liv and Tiffany. Yeah. Is it realistic? No, it's not. Should Tiffany Stratton cash in? Could it set the scene for, say, a Liv Morgan challenging Tiffany for a Women's World Championship? Yeah. But it's not something that's necessarily on the top of my wish list, right? I actually think there's some other interesting matches out there for Liv and Rhea. And I think that Rhea is going to win the Women's World Championship from Liv eventually. I don't know when that will be. If I had to guess, I'm going to say they're going to probably do that at the Royal Rumble, but I could be wrong. Can they extend it that long? That's the big question, right? Tiffany Stratton winning the Women's Royal Rumble match is not very likely, so she would have to cash in on the Raw side in order for us to get Liv versus Tiffany, considering that Tiffany is SmackDown and Liv is obviously Monday Night Raw. Is it a match that you could absolutely do in the future and one day potentially be on the WrestleMania card? Yes. Is it a match in which I can see on the WrestleMania 41 card? No. Completely different opposite brands. There's no clear-cut, direction of getting there. There's a lot of unknowns as we look at it now. I think what's going to happen is Tiffany Stratton will cash in on Nia Jax to win the Women's Championship. You can have Nia be taken out. laid out by an opponent, or Tiffany just come out there and knock her out real quick with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I see Tiffany definitely cashing in and winning the championship. I just don't know when exactly. If I had to say 90%, I'm going to say Nia. Could be someone different. Could be Monday Night Raw. It could. Here's the problem with Liv and Rhea, and I've talked about this in the past. Coming out of this feud, who do you have ready to challenge for the championship? Right? Like, as good as Liv and Rhea has been, and it's been very, very good, you don't have a clear-cut direction. That's an issue. That's a problem. That's something that they have to fix. That's something that they have to address, right? Because Liv and Rhea, it's dominated television for several months, and they've kind of used it as a crutch when it comes to the women's division on Monday Night Raw, right? Because you had, look at it like this. You had Nia Jax, Rhea Ripley, Elimination Chamber. Then you had Becky win Elimination Chamber, feud with Rhea going into Mania. Then coming out of Mania, you had Becky and you had Liv. And then you had Liv versus Zelina Vega, but let's be real, that's not really a huge feud. More or less, the focus in the women's division was Liv trying to get Dominic to come over to her side. Then you had the return of Rhea. So then you kick-started back up Rhea and Liv. Then you had the turn of Dominic on Rhea. Then you had the four of Damian Priest, Dominic, Liv, and Rhea. Then you went back to Liv and Rhea with Dominic as the side piece. Then you had the return of Raquel. Now we have the focus of Rhea trying to get through Raquel to get to Liv and Dom, right? Like, other than that, tell me another top-tier women's program on Monday Night Raw. I can't, right? They've had to add Tiffany Stratton into Nia Jax versus Bayley because Nia has beaten Bayley 2 straight times. So you have to do something to get some type of interest from that. So if you look at it like that, then it's like, oh yeah, we have a problem here. We have to address this problem. I think they need to worry, and I think they are having their focus more on who do we set up, who do we get ready, who do we prepare to come in there and challenge Rhea and Nia coming out of this feud, more or less than their WrestleMania 41 plans for Nia Jax, or Tiffany Stratton and or Liv Morgan, right? I don't even know there's been no real concrete reports about when Rhea and Liv is going to happen, so it'll be interesting. I will definitely keep y'all in tune with that. Let me know down in the comments here below. Is Tiffany Stratton and Liv Morgan, is that a WrestleMania worthy match? I'd like to hear your opinion.